Hi, welcome to the Retirement Railroad. I'm Steve, and it's time for our monthly update for May 2024. We'll be covering everything that we got accomplished on the Retirement Railroad 2.0 during the month of April 2024. So hang tight, and we'll get started. And first thing we want to look at is kind of an overview, seeing the trains run. It's been an exciting month. All right, so with that, let's take a look at a recap of what we had accomplished during the month of March for our last update. All right, in March we installed the motorman, the sensors for the motorman, the ballasting of the main line. We got the control board operational. But you may recall it was on the bench at the time last year. We had all of our turnout indicators, and what those are is the green and yellow or white LEDs embedded eventually into the track, so that it was a quick visual on whether the turnout is closed or thrown. So we had them all wired, but we've not got them embedded or placed yet. And finally, during the month of March, we completed the turnout table within JMRI. And what that is basically formatting all of the turnouts and the DCC locations, naming them, etc., into a table that can be cross-referenced when we finally get around to doing the control panels, or the visual representation of the layout, including the touch screen throwing or control of those turnouts. All right? So that's kind of where we were in March. We're at the end of March, coming into April. All right? So the first thing we want to look at is what all did we get done in April? All right. Well, we completed the ballasting. All right. You saw from the previous slides, this right here, that all of the ballasting is now complete, even the sidings. All right. It's all been cleaned up. The trains are running smoothly. They're not having any problems with the turnouts, throwing, etc. We still have some tuning on some locomotives to do, but that's a different point altogether. Right. So, we completed the ballasting. We did preliminary work on the east side grade crossing. And what we're talking about there is utilizing a plaster-like compound. I used Durham wood putty over some cork roadbed, and kind of feather it into the re-railers, the Atlas re-railers sections of track. So those will get painted up and trimmed up, and get some electronic controls, signal crossings, eventually as well. I also installed a 12-volt DC lighting bus line and terminals located strategically underneath the layout, underneath eventually, so that it will be easy to add layout lighting to the layout. I also added a shelf with photo sensor control for that bus line. which means I can turn off the upper lighting here in the room, leave the benchwork lighting on, and the photocell will still trigger to turn the lighting on the shelf layout. One of the things here in Oklahoma, it gets hot in the summertime, and even with the wind sweeping down the plain, it still gets warm. So I installed a fan that points down at this direction to help keep it cool. Now it will still be limited to morning running sessions, but it'll be nice and breezy, so to speak. Oh, skipped ahead too far. The control board, we talked about it before, how it was operational last month, here sitting on the bench in front of me. Now it's tucked away onto the shelf brackets that hold it, and which frees up a lot of bench area. And that was the whole design of the control board and layout. The turnout indicator lighting that we got wired last month, or the month before, March, is now all complete. All the lights are embedded in the track work. And when the switches are thrown, it goes from green to white or yellow, and indicating that you switched off of the main line and onto one of the sidings. So, not being a very good conductor, any visual that I can get to help me identify if a switch is thrown or not, so I don't run through it, I need. So, my buddy C&EI John can attest to that fact. All right, the lower level LED lighting, shop lights. I have two 4-foot long, double tubed LED lights. All right. And just like I have above the layout, there's two more down underneath the shelf layout. And that lights up the bench here. Well, doing all the wiring and so forth on the layout, I had to take those down to finish doing all that wiring. And I now have those rehung and up in place. And you may notice the video aspect or lighting for the videos has improved dramatically. Yeah, this still casts a shadow, but I needed to keep from my forehead glaring into the video. So, but anyway, it's a lot lighter. The benchwork is now lit up very well to work on projects, etc. Like Retirement Railroad 1.0 down in Florida, where I had some portable layout control boards, okay, which are basically tablets that are connected via my Wi-Fi system into my computer. It ties into JMRI and Panel Pro, so that the layout diagram, switching diagram, shows up on the screen, and you can utilize it remotely, even though this layout isn't that big or long. Keep in mind, this layout's designed for proof of concept for a much bigger layout in a large storage shed out back eventually. So therefore I have the control board stand that the tablet sits in, a throttle can sit on. It also has USB power ports that are wired in, so that I don't drain the batteries on the tablet, etc. during running sessions. So, something I cannot recommend enough, all right, as having running things from tablets and wireless throttles, etc. It's so much more convenient for me. All right. Then one of the other things we did, multiple other things we did, is we developed JMRI Operations Pro. I talked about the turnout table earlier, which was a major portion of it that I got done the previous month. Now, this last month, I got all my rolling stock, at least the rolling stock I'm going to use on 2.0, entered into JMRI, and it's what type of car, what color it is, what year, the build year on that car, and what location it's at, right? And enter the location for the car, you got to do the location table first. So all the locations that are identified for the layout are utilized in the cars, so that JMRI knows where each piece of rolling stock is, what type it is, where it is allowed to go, and it will determine where each car is needed based upon the utilization of the car, the routing, the train, etc. So the routes, the available routes are entered into JMRI, such as Downers Grove to Chicago, Chicago to Downers Grove, Aurora to Downers Grove, Downers Grove to Aurora, Downers Grove East, East local, West local, and then a through freight from Aurora to Chicago that stops and does all those things as well. To help at the end of the running session, that helps clean everything back up. So I'm really excited about it. Once all that was done, I got the switching panel, I think I mentioned that already, in place, and so it's good to, and I also worked on multiple locomotives. I bought a cow calf SW1500, and Lynn McCurdy gifted me a Burlington number 641 consolidated, or consolidation, I can't remember which is the actual correct term. And I worked on my GP7 and a GP35. Still have more work to do on each of those, but that took up some of the time in the month as well. Added 3 cameras to the layout, 2 GoPro knockoffs, 4K cameras, relatively inexpensive. I think they're under $30 a piece, and they have excellent pictures to them. As a matter of fact, that is one example of the pictures. And you can see that GP7 and the SW1500 I've been working on, and the GP35 as well. And as I alluded to, and now give more details on, I conducted the first ops session, kind of as a test of everything, and did it live. Many of you may have watched it as well. Overall, had very little, really no issues with the layout. I had some issues with conductivity on a couple of, I think the GP35 and maybe the GP7. Thus, why I was working on it. Still more work to do. But the routing, the trains, all that worked out very well. And I said I was going to add another route/train, and I did. I added that through freight from Aurora, round trip from Aurora via Downers Grove to Chicago and back, touching all the locations as well. And I really want to send a special thanks out to Lynn McCurdy of the HD MMRC, High Desert Mountain Model Mountain, I don't know, Railroad. He sent me that 280 consolidation, and I can't thank him enough. It's a Riviasi in excellent condition, clean as a whistle. It's DC. I have to add a chip to it. It's just easy enough for me to do. And earlier, he had sent me a box full of vehicles, 50s, 50s, and 60 era vehicles, and which, when you're modeling a city and towns, you can't have enough vehicles and people. So thanks again, Lynn. He had a special goodie in that box as well, and it was since we're in Oklahoma, he sent me an oil derrick, and I'll utilize that as well. So, what do we have to look forward to next month? Well, things will settle down a little bit. I'll be out of town for a week and a half. It won't get anything done. I might have a couple surprises in that time frame, but I've got plenty of work to do on this commuter train. I've got to strip that paint off. I've got to repaint it silver, decal it in Burlington, add people to it, the coach, the Concord coach in front of it. I have a lighting kit for the bi-level as well. I got a light. I'll do my lighting kit in that coach. I've got to stain, so to speak, those windows on the coach to a green, because that's the way the Burlington cars were done. I have people, the interior, all, and so yeah, I have plenty of things to keep me busy for a long period of time. I've got to finish those grade crossings. I have scenery work to do. My buddy Jason, the train freak, was gracious enough to send me some pictures of his lumber yard, and I have those. I'm going to make flats out of those eventually for one of my scenes. Just tons and tons and tons of stuff. So, with that, I want to thank you for joining me here at the Retirement Railroad 2.0, and y'all have a great day. Bye now.